Now that the test has been completed and the physician or practitioner has reviewed the results with the patient, it is time for us to take the 4 forms that are needed and fax them to our dedicated fax line. The forms are as follows: the Allergy Med Consent Form, the Allergy Questionnaire, the Allergy Med Test Result Form, and the prescription. The reason why we need these particular forms is to create a drug utilization review. This is required by law. The drug utilization review will review the patient's medications they're currently taking, the results of the test, including the wheel designations by number, and also the positive and negative control. This is the most misunderstood portion of the test report. The positive control usually gives us a wheel of above 5, which is a positive control reaction. The negative control gives us a less than 5 wheel, and therefore has no significant value. But sometimes we get the opposite. Sometimes we get a wheel above 5 for the negative control. And there are several reasons for this. One of the main reasons is something called contact urticaria. Contact urticaria is hives. A patient will get hives just by touch. And with this here, you will get a reaction, and this reaction is a false positive. The second portion is the positive control. The positive control, sometimes we will get a negative. We'll get no wheel. And the reason we have this here is probably can be ascertained or found out by what the patient has told us. Has the patient taken any medication that is contraindicated and did not tell the physician? One of the most important parts of the test is histamine. And one of the most common drugs that people take are these anti-acid drugs. The anti-acid drugs are what they call H2 blockers, or histamine 2 blockers. The first drug is cimetidine, or Tagamet, and the second drug is Pepcid, or famotidine. As I said, these 2 drugs are H2 blockers and histamine blockers. They will block the reaction of histamine, which is what we're using in the positive control, and histamine then will be blocked and you will not get a reaction. The next portion that we are going to go through is the writing of the prescription. The writing of the prescription is broken down into 4 parts. The parts of the prescription that are the most important in this particular area are, number 1 is the doctor's information. We will fill out the doctor's information as the practitioner's name, the license number of the physician, the MPI number of the physician, and the DEA number of the physician. As I said before, we are a community pharmacy in the state of Florida, and we are required by law to have the full name of the patient, the date of birth of the patient, the address of the patient, the telephone number of the patient, and the date the prescription was written. These here are required by federal statute and by local statute in the Board of Pharmacy. The third part of our prescription is how many months and how we're going to give the therapy to the patient. As you can see on the prescription form, we have given you several different areas to check off. The first area being 12 months of therapy. The reason why we have 12 months of therapy is because this is an extended therapy period from 1 to 3 years. So therefore, by law, we can only write a prescription for 12 months. In most cases, the oral drops will be the one that is checked off. The second portion of this is the amount to be dispensed. In some cases, since the prescription is valid for 12 months, you may only want to dispense 1 month, 3 months, or 6 months. The last and most important part of the prescription is the physician's signature. Without the signature, the prescription is invalid. In conclusion, I'd like to say again that Allmed RX Pharmacy is a pharmacy that is registered in the state of Florida. We use all FDA-approved allergenic extracts and allergens in the composition of our allergy drops and allergy shots. This means that everything that we put in to our drops are FDA approved. We compound them into the specific prescription for your patient.